Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoe and in today's video I want to finally do a book journal video again. Yeah, I have this book journal now for half a year. I did this, I think, for a video last year to show my 2023 book journal. This is a really cute journal from Amanda Ridgely and I really love it. I would like it more than the Archer and Olive one because it doesn't fall apart. So far, I had a problem with the other one that it fell apart after a couple months of using it. I don't know. It is what it is. So yeah, what I'm doing today is yeah, what can I say? So I'm currently in June, so I already did my little spread. It's not even worth making a whole video about these spreads because they're really simple. But as you can see something, the pictures are missing from the book clubs and from my monthly spreads when I read a book. And so I finally print them out on Sunday. And while I watched some YouTube videos, I cut them out. Do you have all? I think. And we will glue them in. This is everything I will do. Maybe I find a book that I thought, oh, this was a really good book. Maybe I will talk about it. But so far, let's start with gluing the pictures in. Do you see? Probably. I hope. A really good book is Lessons in Chemistry. I really loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It is a historical fiction book, so if you don't really a fan of historical fiction, I would not read it, but I was a really big fan. And we're currently reading this also for Lucy's book club. Why haven't I read this yet? So if you want to join a book club, Lucy's book club is still open. What means still open? It's always open. And we're currently reading Lessons in Chemistry. So if you want to talk about the book and chat about it, it's there. Just a trigger warning is sexual assault, rape, sexism, and the deaths of parents and loved ones. Yeah. So let's glue this in. Heavy Place is also a favorite. Amazing. It's done. Doesn't it look beautiful? I should have done this earlier. But yeah, it's so pretty. Yeah, I'm not good at reading the book club picks, I'm honest. For my reads channel, I didn't read anything so far. I plan to read Legends and Ladders. I have it here, also of the audiobook. I only should read it. Don't know what's going on here, if I really want to read something from that. Here I only read The 9000 Harband, DNF'd, softly DNF'd, Day of Fall Night, still over Gideon the Knight. Yeah, let's see how the rest goes. For Isabella's Patreon, on the other hand, I was better, except for I have this book here and I didn't read it, and I read this last year, so this is why you will not see it in the rest of the journal, but I read it last year and it was okay. But I read these three, these two actually outside from the book club. I started reading Lessons in Chemistry before it was announced that it was this book club pick, and Happy Place I read in April, so it was by accident that it was also for May. Dawn of the Moon Goddess, I enjoyed it. Olivia's Patreon, I just jumped right back into Olivia's Patreon. I was at her Patreon last year and I stopped being in there. Now I'm back, so this is why I haven't read anything. On the other hand, I also wouldn't read anything except for, wait, where's my pencil? I read Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. Nice. So, but here there are a few books: Legends and Ladders, The Serpents and the Wings of Night, and Song of Silver Flame Like Night. I also have this here in Mel Reads Patreon, so I don't know what I want to read with that, but I will definitely read this Stardust Stephen August and Spice Rock, because I also have these here. But I also have Legends and Ladders here and I didn't read it. And I also have this here. Okay. Lucy's book club is also better. I read Babel last year. I read Lessons in Chemistry in January, so I only read Claire and the Sun for her book club. We don't talk about my 22 books that I want to read in 2023, because I'm absolutely failing at that. Mainly because all of it is almost everything of this list is just fantasy, and I'm not in the fantasy mood right now. This is amazing. So then for my own book club, if you're new here, I obviously read everything so far. Favorites also for Teach Me, Wedding Crusher and Happy Place. Written and Stars I read last year, So the Academy, I don't want to talk about it. And Damage Like Us is for June. This is about male relationship. Excited to read that. And so this is what it looks like in the spread itself. It's not about a book, also really good book. It's a non-fiction book where they're talking about the Islam. It's amazing. I really enjoyed this and learned a lot. Lessons in Chemistry, amazing. City of Girls, also amazing. Also historical fiction. Please also look up the trigger warnings for that. Ninth House, amazing, really love it, but also look at the trigger warnings. I realized I never... Oh, sorry. I realized I never put in this one. I didn't have the book, but still for the feelings. Berühre mich nicht, if you can read German. This is the graphic novel from the book. It was amazing. I really love it. Here. Yeah, what can I tell you? February was honestly one of the best months that I had so far from reading. Everything was a 5-star, except for Hellbent. But still, Hellbent was still a great book. But I wish it had more the graphic scenes that it also had in Ninth House, because I would think it would work more. I think maybe Lipido just got scared maybe of the critics for Ninth House, I don't know. But The Ice Planet Barbarians never disappoint me. Hunger Games, a banger. You should always read it. And Ruby Red from Kessengier. German book, was my favorite book as a child. Reread it. It's amazing. I will not say it's amazing now as an adult, but for the nostalgia I gave it I gave it 5 stars. March, I think it looks cute when everything is finally glued in. This is the rest of the series from Ruby Red. Zodiac Academy, I don't want to talk about this. Teach Me, like I said, amazing. Spare, also amazing. Don't want to hear critics for that. Fire and Endless, amazing book. What do I have here? April. I mean, Sarah J. Maas, obviously, but okay, let's ignore her for one moment because she gets enough attention. So, Beyond the Flame, amazing book. I'm finally glad I read it. Chain of Thorns, great end of the series. Wedding Crasher, amazing, really loved it. And Heavy Place, 5 stars, as I deserve. It's amazing. Now we get into May. Everyone in this room will die, will someday be dead. Amazing book. It was so funny. I will really recommend this to you. The Flawless series. I would say I loved Heartless the most of all of them. And then Flawless and then Powerless. I'm excited for the next book that will come out this June. Yeah, Kim Young, born 1982, also a really good book. Historical fiction. It's not really fiction, it's about feminism, contemporary. Also amazing book. If it didn't say upfront that this is a fiction book, I would not believe it, because I think it's so much to reality that it doesn't count for me as a fiction book anymore. And it talks specifically about this country, but I think if you would exchange the country and the name of the woman, it would not matter. I think the problems that that Shonan Jo talks about in the book, it's just the same for every country. It's just the levels of misogyny is different from each country. So obviously, if we would transfer this to Germany, it would not be that horrible like it is in here. But if you will exchange it for also other countries, example on the continent Africa, if you would put it in there, it's sad. Okay. Ombre Rage, also amazing. Really read it. So far, my Asian reaction was really good. I really loved it. Everything on Red. I think I tend more liking the contemporary books and the fiction and the fiction books that go more in the realistic world than actually the fantasy books that I read. They were good, the fantasy books, but it was not. It didn't give me the feeling that these two gave me. Which also a graphic novel. Comic. I loved it. It put me back in my childhood. It was amazing. And I finished the month with She Gets a Girl. Yeah. But when I can recommend you something, it's The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. This was amazing. And yeah, I have a few left. Fourth Wing. And because I want to read this still this month. Damage Like Us is also a June TBR book. Because I didn't finish Gideon the Night, I have Gideon the Night left. And A Day of Fall Night. But I decided with these two books that I will glue them in and write it down in the Redis when I finish the book, because I don't want to print them out again. But I also have here, I don't know why, because I haven't even started this, is The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson. It's of my 23 books I want to read in 2023, so maybe that's the reason. And I accidentally print out more Teach Me, but I don't need this, so this will go into my trash set. But yeah, these two books are still my TBR, these are leftovers. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this book. Besides the fact that this isn't really a book journal reading like the classic style, it's just me gluing in the pictures. But content is content, so it's just giving you the effect, how it should look like. Yeah, this was everything. I will link everything in the description down below what you need to know, and then I wish you all a happy day and happy weekend whenever you watch this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!